All right, here we go. The Unit 2 end of unit test. We need to review this so that we can learn from our mistakes. There's no sense in making a mistake and then making it again and then making it again and then making it again. So you should have given yourself a goal of so many points out of 30. The score that you got was right here, and then I divided top by bottom, multiply it by 100 to get your percentage. Now, you can go ahead and add, if I haven't already, if I haven't had time, however many questions you got right on the county exam, and that will be your final grade. Take a moment right now to pause the video, and I want you to go through and actually go back and circle each one that you did not earn full credit for. For example, what I tried to do on this one is if you didn't earn full points, I went ahead and put a slash in the numbers. So if you get a slash in one of these numbers, take a minute. So if I got 1A and 1C looked like that, I'd take a minute right now, turn my test back over, and circle 1A and 1C. This will let me know what I need to correct on my correction paper. So go ahead and pause the video now and do that. Pause it. Hit the pause button. Okay. All right, so now that we know which ones you need to correct, we can go ahead and start learning from our mistakes. Now, if I'm going to go ahead and start on 1A, if you got 1A correct, then you can skip or fast forward to 1B or 1C or whatever you'd wish. On your correction paper, whatever I write down, you should be writing down. If it's important enough for me to write down, it's important enough for you to write down. If you need to recreate the table, don't be lazy. Take a minute, recreate the table on your paper. On one side of the paper, you're going to show me all the work. In another box, you're going to write down what your mistake was. Either I had no idea, I forgot to multiply by a negative, I didn't remember to finish the problem. Whatever it is, whatever your mistake is, take a minute to write that on your correction sheet as well. Okay, so here goes. So situation 1. Every time the dishwasher is run, it uses 20 gallons of water. X is the number of times the dishwasher is run. Y is the number of gallons used. So I'm going to go ahead so it's a little easier on my eyes to actually label these. So number of times it runs. Y is the number of gallons of water used. Okay, well, if I don't run the dishwasher at all, then I'm not using any water. If I run it once, I use 20 gallons. If I run it twice, the first one took 20 gallons, the second one took 20 gallons, so I used 40. 3 would be 60, and 4 would be 4 times 20 is 80. So look at the rule. So I've already completed the input-output table. But look what happens. All I'm doing is taking this number and multiplying it by 20 because it's 20 gallons per time it's run. So I just have to multiply by 20. So my function rule, to get y, remember it's always y equals, to get this number, I take my x and I multiply it by 20. For those of you who put add 20, you're trying to tell me that I take this number and add 20 to get to this number. Well, 1 plus 20 isn't 20. 2 plus 20 isn't 40. So that's the function rule. All right, 1C. Remember to scale both axes and give each axis a title. It's 2 points. You got 1 point for scaling it. I'm sorry, you got 1 point for the correct dots. You got another point for scaling it with a title. So it says up here on my table that X is the number of times the dishwasher is run. Oops. Y says it's the number of gallons used, number of gallons of water. So let's let this be 0 and 0. Now our x's go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's easy enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can even say 5. Our y's, we've got to go from 0 to 80 in a pretty small space. So let's go ahead and do 20s. So 20, 40, 60. Notice I added 20, added 60, added 80, added 100. Now all we do is plot. Look back at your table. The first point is 0, 0. The second plot is x equals 1 and y equals 20. Those meet up right here. The next one is x is 2 and y is 40. So it meets up right there. Then 3 and 60, and it meets up right there. 4 and 80, and it meets up right there. Now think about this. I've put the dots here, I've made my axis, and I've given my axis a title. That's how you get full points. I did not collect this. I did not connect these dots because I can't run the dishwasher a half a time. I can't run it a half a time. That doesn't make any sense. So if you go ahead and connect these, you're saying I can have a half of a time. That's not true. So this would also be discrete. Congratulations to those of you who actually wrote discrete too. A couple of you did. All right, let's move on to number 2. Number 2, you had to be careful. I'm going to go ahead and use a bit of metacognition here myself and write out, so plan means to like stop and what? Yeah, good, okay, it's like your approach. How are you going to approach the problem? Monitor happens while you're doing the problem. So this is during your work. That's what monitor means. Evaluate is after you're done with the work. And loop back, you only have to loop back if you get it wrong. So let's see if we can do this now. How well you did when you are finished. Well, that's definitely after done with the work, so that's evaluating how well we did when we finished. To plan and try another approach. Well, if I had to try another approach, I've probably gotten it wrong, so that's loop back. How to actually approach a learning problem. Well, that's definitely planning. And how well you are doing as you go. Well, that's as you go, that's monitoring. So if you need to, take a moment and pause and go ahead and recreate this on your paper. Remember, second quarter, this is the third day. Put in the effort you want to get the grade that you want. Okay, so the graph below shows the cost C for ordering N homecoming. So let's go ahead and label that. This is invitations here, invitations. C is the cost. So there's 2 different companies I can order my invitations from. I can order it from Uptown Printing and I can order it from Mid-City Printers. If we take a look at this, this guy is proportional because he goes to the origin. This guy starts up here. So which graph shows a proportional relationship and provide evidence? Well, I'm not going to answer in complete sentences so we can save some time, but it's Uptown Printing because, it goes to the origin. Hang on one second. Sorry, I had to sharpen my pencil. Because it goes through the origin. Okay? All right, next one. Which company most likely charges a one-time design fee in addition to the cost of printing? Well, remember, if this is proportional, that means that it only looks like this. Y is equal to some number times X. There's no plus or anything on the back. If it's up here if it starts up here, that means that you've got some number X and then you've got a plus some other number. If I start with a one-time design fee, I'm going to have to multiply the price times the number of times the number of invitations, and I'm going to have to add some one-time design fee. This is what you need to have a one-time design fee. So this one is Mid-City Printers because it does not go through the origin. All right, Mid-City Printers because it does not go through the origin. You need that one-time design fee for up here. All right, let's go ahead and squeeze in one more on this video. Remember, you can pause at any time. Actually, I'll do the rest. I'll keep going on a new video. So that was 1 through all of number 4.